Good morning, everyone. I am Pratibha Rizal, a teacher trainee of Siliguri Tarai B.Ed College and Siliguri Primary Teachers Training College. So today, here I am is to teach you a chapter from history, which is of West Bengal Board Class 10. Okay. So the name of the chapter is Resistance and Rebellion. Okay. As we have already started this chapter in the last class, we dealt with the sannyasi and fakir rebellion, in which sannyasis were a very important part of India, and we read about Wahhabi movement, in which the Barasat uprising. We learned about the Barasat uprising of 1851. So today we will deal with another topic, and it is a very important topic for us, and the name of the topic is Indigo Revolt, and it happened in between 1859 to 1860. Okay, let's start with the subtopic. Indigo here means a color. Okay, different types of colors. Indigo here means a colors. Okay, Europeans or the British people were the people who introduced indigo to the Indians in the 18th century. Okay, Europeans were the ones who introduced indigo in India during the 18th century. Okay, and what happened was that export of indigo brought very profit to the European planters. Okay, exporting of these indigo brought very much profit for them. So what they did was, in the whole over India, they found Bengal as a place in which the indigo used to grow as much as they want. Okay, the soil was very suitable in Bengal for the indigo planters. So Europeans made Bengal the main province for growing indigo. Okay, so that they could get benefit from it. Okay, but what happened was that indigo cultivation was not profitable for the peasants. Okay, who used to sow it, rip it and cut it down. It was not profitable for them. So what they did was that they never used to get the ways that they demanded. Which means that they worked harder, but the harder they worked, the lesser the wage they got. Okay, which means that the harder they work, the less money they get paid. Okay, so this created a kind of kind of hatred towards the British people. Okay, but what British did, what instead of providing some relief to the indigo cultivators, they forced the peasants to grow indigo. They forced them to plant indigo in their area. Okay, in fact, these British people were so cruel that they turned the crops growing area into indigo cultivation. Okay, this led to the decrease in production of fruit crops, food grains as well. Okay, then not only that, these Europeans, in order to get profit from the indigo, they burned the villages of the peasants. They burned their huts so that they could clear the land and they can grow indigo out there. Okay, then the Britishers also oppressed the family of the peasants. They not only made them slave, but also oppressed the family of the peasants. Especially the women were mostly oppressed by the British government. Okay, so this was the main background for the uprising of this indigo revolt of 1859. Okay, because the agricultural labor were this much forced that they were forced to work as a labor in the field, in their own field. Okay, now the revolt, let's read about the centers and leaders of the revolt. Where was the center of this revolt and who was the leader of this revolt? Okay, the indigo revolt first broke out in Kushinagar in Nadia district in West Bengal itself. Okay, it first broke out in it was Krishnanagar in Nadia district in Bengal itself. Then from there it slowly spread to some other parts like Malda, Barasat and Faridpur. Okay, Malda, Barasat and Faridpur were the main centers of this rebellion. Okay, then who was the leader behind this rebellion was that Digambar Biswas. The name of the man was Digambar Biswas, who was the leader of this revolt, of this Indigo revolt. Okay, then what happened after that? Did the government listen to the people, or the movement just got suppressed by the British government? Let's read. Okay, and the another subtopic is government repression. Okay, the British government took all the possible measures to suppress the revolt. They tried all the things so that they could suppress this Indigo revolt. Okay, they even put the British force in entire Bengal. They even kept British force in entire Bengal to suppress this movement, to further break the outbreak of this revolt. Okay, however, after this revolt, the suppression of the revolt was not done by the British government. However, the production of indigo hit hard, which means that the production of indigo got lowered after this revolt. Okay, then after the indigo production got some disturbances, as the outbreak of the revolt, British came out with some proclamation to the peasants. Okay, which means that they gave some relief to the cultivators, to the peasant cultivators. Okay, as a result of this, indigo cultivation forced out of Bengal. What happened was that as a result of this revolt, the Britishers were forced to let go the cultivation of indigo in Bengal. Okay, what happened was that for the first time that these indigo revolt showed the hands of the middle class as well. Okay, even the middle class people joined this rebellion to fight against the British cultivators. Okay, in this indigo rebellion, the cultivators unitedly make up a mass movement. They fought it together, the peasants together, from higher class, lower class, middle class. All these people fought together and made it a mass movement. Okay, and also took a vow that they will not sow any more indigo in their agricultural land. Okay, instead they will produce fruit grains in their own land instead of producing indigo in their agricultural field. Okay, now what was the outcome of this revolt? Okay, the outcome was that the indigo rebellion made the people conscious of their unity. The people came to know that if they get united, they can do anything to fight against the colonial rule or the British people. Okay, with this we come to an end of this chapter, Resistance and Rebellion. We will continue with the next chapter in the next class. Now let's have a brief recapitulation of what we read today. We started with the indigo revolt, and we came to know that Europeans were the people who introduced indigo to India in 18th century. Then the Bengal was made as a main area of indigo cultivation. Then what happened was that indigo cultivation was not profitable for the peasants. So as their wage was not what they demanded, so they thought of rebelling against the British government. Then Digambar Biswas was the name of the person who led this revolt, and this revolt started in the place called Kushinagar in Nadia district in West Bengal itself. Then after that, governments took many possible measures to suppress this revolt, but what happened was that the British government was forced to make some proclamations to give some relief to these cultivators. Then after this revolt, the Indian people came to know that if they got united together, then they can do anything to fight against the British. Okay, this was the end of the chapter. Thank you.